Hi, my name is Patrick, and this is Tech Delicious and Craft Delicious. So it looks like we have a new Devbites for Nightingale, and I'm excited to see what's the next chapter is here. They have talked in the past about adding Nightingale City. That's the next one coming, so we'll see what they say.
Hi everybody, Aaron Flynn, CEO of Inflection Games here.
And Neil Thompson, Art Director and Head of Audio.
And we're back for the Devbites. How many is this now? What have we done? 7? 8? Something like that.
I don't know how many had hats and how many didn't.
Yeah, we should count by the props or something. But anyway, a question of other time. Welcome back, folks. We're excited here to talk about Nightingale City. It's actually here. We're only 24 hours away from release.
Holy smokes, 24 hours away? Wow. So that means that pretty much the end game is about to be released, and about a day from now. This is exciting.
It. And so a quick Devbites to talk about some of the ideas behind it, why we're so excited for it. Again, offer our deepest thanks to all of the fans out there who've been patient with us. It's been over a year since we launched Nightingale, and here we are finally bringing the namesake city of the whole game to you to enjoy and play.
Yeah, totally. And this is really, we see it as a love letter to Nightingale. It's it completes the adventure for those who've been playing the game for a year. We think it'll bring a very satisfying denouement to the experience. It was certainly exciting to build. Yeah, thank you. I'm not just
you're not just a pretty face, right? There's a lot going on there. Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
And there's lots of new stuff that's coming in with this release as well. But huge props to the team. This was an enormous task to bring together. Building a city is no small task. But we did it, and we're very proud of it.
Yeah, I agree, Neil. The team really stepped up and did amazing work on this one. This whole idea, Neil talked about a love letter. Nightingale's a big game in a lot of ways. It's got a lot of disparate systems, it's got a lot of things you can engage in. And so we really wanted to celebrate the best of those things for everybody. So it's got, not just a really cool environment, something you can explore. There's mystery. There's a cool story that weaves through it too. You get to have great combat. There's all sorts of things there. There's, you're going to earn tile sets for building. You're going to craft. You're going to do these things. Realm cards, everything that we thought really.
So the idea on new realm cards, they have been teasing from the very beginning with the Puck story, something about the Winter Court. So I would assume that we are then talking about something that has to do with winter, obviously. Is that going to be then the fourth biome? I mean, they don't really have spring. They have the desert one, they have the forest, and they have the swamp, which are not exactly different seasons, which is a little bit different from the Fey Realms if you know the lore at all, which is kind of like the summer, the spring, the fall, the winter courts. This seems to be more realms that has to do with different biomes.
Was the distillation of the important parts of Nightingale and the stuff that you all like the best and we love building. We tried to reflect somehow in this Nightingale City experience. So a little bit more about it. So I don't spoil anything, obviously. If you've made your way through to the current end of the story, we're at the Watch and you're ready to go and save Nightingale. That opportunity now presents itself and you will go on a thrilling adventure through the streets of Nightingale City, fully realized as you defend it from the bound that have invaded and you help NPCs along the way.
So we're then looking for higher tier bound, I would assume. Because if you end up in the Watch, you have this kind of battle arena thing that you could do that can add up tiers to, I think it's tier 6 of materials. So that's kind of sort of where you end up stopping. And then there is a gate where you can go further, which I would assume is Nightingale.
Who need you and you need them to ultimately save Nightingale City once and for all. And as Neil said, hopefully that brings this chapter of the Nightingale story to a really, really satisfying conclusion for all of you. including a cool fight at the end. But again, I won't spoil that. Yeah, so that's really the idea. It's been a lot of work. It's been many months of effort and trying to get it all just right. And I still think, like many creative endeavors, you build it and then you think of all the things you want to do next. So who knows? But here it is now, and I really hope you all enjoy it. What else can we say about it right now? There's Nightingale City represents the majority of the update, but there's still other things that come out with this update as well. We've got
building intelligence.
there's struggles there. No,
We've smoothed the pipeline for placement and rotation and so forth of building pieces. That should help. I think the gear customization is the thing that's really gonna attract players. You can now dye and modify your gear to whatever takes your fancy, really. So that'll be huge. Really looking forward to seeing what people.
Now, I do believe the dye of gear came out in the last update. So he's not talking about something in the future. There's possible that they will release other ways of dyeing going forward, dyeing your gear. But this is something that just came out.
People come up with that.
Yeah, another thing that we thought about many years ago when we first started Nightingale, and we're finally have that out for everybody to try and to appreciate. There is new Tier 5 gear as well. It comes as part of the Nightingale City adventure.
So Tier 5, so right now you have up to Tier 4 in all the different realms. I do believe there are some up to Tier 6 in the battle arena, but it's not like you have to advance so far in the battle arena. So it just goes round and round with different bosses. And I would assume that when you're talking about the Tier 5, that's kind of like a solid, that's the next step of tier that you will find in what possible realms that there are, in comparison to the battle arena, which have some stuff that's Tier 6.
It's pretty cool, and it's all got unique abilities, which is really fun. It's also fabled charms you're going to get, which you can infuse into any other gear piece you want. And so there's just a lot of that end game excitement that's going to come because of Nightingale City represents, again, the end of this big act or chapter, we would call it.
Oh, there's the herbalist tile set as well. I think
that's right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool too. So please keep building. We've got a lot of ideas what we could do in the future for the building system. But again, more content from that.
So that's interesting to say for the future. So if this is the end game, the question then is, are they going to release DLCs that kind of further the story and increases the tiers? Because it is really a vast story when you think about it. So it's possible they might not talk about the Winter Court here. I really hope that they will include that, because they have kind of woven that into the Puck story about the Winter Court. But there are also other future courts and realm possibilities out there. So if they are already planning on a future past Nightingale, like the end game, that's exciting.
Now is what it is. So that's it, folks. Again, we don't want to spoil it because it's pretty cool. I want you to jump in, but please do check it out. I hope you love it as much as we love building it, and onward and upward to the next things for us, whatever they may be, as we think about Nightingale, think about other things. Who knows what the future holds in this crazy industry, but we just really hope you love Nightingale. Thank you again for being fans. Again, it means the world to us and our team here that you spend your time in this cool little weird game we built. And thank you again for that. It's now time to think about the next phase of this, now that the city's actually out there, and we'll be combing through your feedback and to inspire us again for more thoughts. But other than that, I think that's that.
Yep. See you in the city.
See you in the city, folks. Thank you.
So, that probably means that they're not entirely sure whether they're going to continue Nightingale. I think it is up to the community at this point to inspire them, because there are a lot of games out there right now that adds a lot of DLCs. Heart of Iron 4 is one of them, which pretty much just have existed on DLCs for years. But there are also others like War Tales. That's another game that has a lot of DLCs that have more or less survived on the DLCs themselves. And of course, the list is longer than that. The idea that Nightingale is going to end with the city, I think is a sad one. I really hope that there's a life after Nightingale, because Nightingale should just be kind of like, here we are, now what? Because there's a lot of story out there. Are you gonna stop an invasion of a Nightingale of the Bound? Yes. Okay, cool. But the threat should still remain. It's not like it ends with you just stopping invasion of the main city. There's also this question of the Pale. The Pale is this mysterious thing that's going on that has more or less engulfed Earth. And my vision in a perfect world would be that you unravel that. You unravel the idea of the Pale and then bring it back to Earth to say what's left of Earth, right? Just ending it with Nightingale, I think would be kind of like a sad note. And I truly hope that the community can come together and give them the idea that we would like to see the story continue. Because even in a DLC format, I think Nightingale can definitely survive. That depends, of course, on the studio. Obviously, this is a financial consideration. But I would definitely pay for DLCs that furthers the story. Not just for tile sets. I'm not really interested in tile sets. The crafting system is just marvelous. So you could definitely add other higher tier and even infuse more of a supernatural thing into it. So there's a lot of things that you could do with the crafting system that would be really absolutely cool. But I think the key here when we're talking about Nightingale is that in the DLC format, there should be a way to just add the higher tier stuff and at the same time go back and unravel the story of the Pale. Because if it ends there, it's kind of like an anticlimax. You know what I mean? It's not that it's bad that it ends with a Nightingale, but there's so much rich story that was already told that more or less like, okay, you stopped an invasion, cool, you saved Nightingale, yada yada yada, sayonara. And that to me seems like not a failure, obviously. This is, again, a financial consideration by the studio. But it feels like there was a story there that they couldn't realize. Obviously, they probably wanted to, but they couldn't really realize it for a lot of the reasons that there was not an enormous community that built up around the game. And I really hope that the community that exists there will see these as a stepping off point for future endeavors in the same universe, because I love the universe. I love the crafting, and it's just a cool store altogether. And if they can give us the platform for the future of it, I really think there is definitely a life out there after Nightingale with a lot of cool DLCs. But again, that's not really up to me to decide. But the community definitely should bring forth ideas, because at this current time, I think there's a lot more things out there to explore. And that's really all I have to say about it. I'm excited of the fact that in about 24 hours, we're going to have the next update, and Nightingale. I'm sad about it because if that's it, well, that was the journey. Not a bad journey. It's a fantastic game. But hopefully we can see a life after that. So, you have a terrific day. You have a great weekend coming. I hope everything goes your way. And as I always say, adieu until we meet again.